Hi y'all, we're just going to share with you our experiences of trying to make a set of steps that look like rocks. Now what you see here is the base, which is just plain old concrete. Now what we have under that concrete is a layer of gravel, just like that, and that's to keep it from getting weird. Like if the ground gets wet, that thing can start rocking and rolling. It'll actually act like a real rock and it'll roll. So it's better to have a layer of gravel under that. And if you're going to make a step, the thing should be at least 2 inches thick. Otherwise, it's not going to support a normal human body weight, much less, you know, somebody with a big keister walking on it. And here's a mistake that we figured out right here. If you make it too thin around the edges, it's going to start to break too, because somebody already stepped on that one. Now, you will notice that these two rocks have a little bit of a rock look, but we tried to hand trowel those, and we got so-so results. I mean, it looks better than it could look. But this one here, now, this has a pretty good look. It has kind of a rock, basically what you would call a kind of a varied surface that gives you a feeling it's kind of a rock. Now, we're evolving as we move along. This here actually has a discrete front, sides, and back, okay? Like a real rock would. So what we're going to do now is we're going to mix up some mortar, okay? This here was concrete, which has the pebbles and everything. We're going to mix up some mortar, and we're going to put that right over the top, and then we'll show you how we treat that. Okay, so what I got here, if you might notice, look over here, I got an actual cement mixer. And you might notice that I foolishly am not using it. I'm using this steel baking pan that I stole from my wife. Sorry, honey. And since this is a small amount, I don't feel like messing that mixer up. So what I have in here is regular old mortar, which is just sand and cement, okay? You can mix your own if you want to go to all that trouble. I just buy a bag from Home Depot that's mortar for people that do like brickwork and rock work. Okay, so I'm just mixing that up now. You see that we have our mortar all mixed up here. It's not too wet and soupy. It's not too dry. This is just about right consistency here. If you look right here in this little bowl here, don't look at my ugly toes. I have mixed up what typically people call slurry, all right? And all that is, it's just cement powder with a little water, almost like a milkshake consistency. And the reason I made that is because we're going on top of some dry cement over here, all right? And you want that to stick to that. And the way you do that, there's a couple things you need to do. First of all, we're going to wet this down. We poured this yesterday, so it's firm enough that I can add water to it. It's not going to hurt it. It's only going to strengthen it. If you try to wet something down, whether it's concrete or cement or mortar, and it's freshly poured, you're just going to ruin it, okay? Once you freshly pour cement or mortar or concrete, you got to let it set up for a good amount of time. I usually go like a full day before I start adding water to it. But after that, you need to keep it wet for days. I mean, the longer you keep it wet or moist after that, the stronger it's going to become. Okay? So now that I've watered that and wet it down, I'm going to add some slurry over to the part where I'm going to put this, the mortar mix. Okay? So what the slurry does is acts like a glue or a binder, and it's going to help that mortar stick to this, okay? And you know, a lot of people would probably just throw that mortar right on top here, but I like to increase my chances of it sticking and being a really good bond. Not only that, my amazing daughter did this part yesterday, and you see how she left it rough? That's for a reason, so it sticks better. It has something to grab onto. Just like the idea of sanding something before you paint it, okay? So here's my slurry. I wet this, and now I'm going to start to put some of this mortar on top. This may be too dry, I don't know, I guess we'll find out. Alright, so you can turn that off, honey. So folks, we're partway into the process. I have some real live cement coloring stuff, and these are just like real intense pigments, and we're going to add some of this so we can get kind of a pseudo-realistic look on the stone. Now if you look at where we are here, we're partway into doing this thing. If you see, first what we did was we troweled it on with the trowels here to get it tight so it's starting to grab onto the cement underneath. And then, or the concrete that is. And now I got a bag here, okay? A bag works real good for kind of giving a little bit of pseudo-random pattern in the rock. Or, you know, we want it to look like a rock. So I'm just kind of going around like that. Some people might say, well, it looks like you're sticking fingers into something soft. Well, maybe, but if you look at it from a distance, now Rachel, stand up and walk away and get that more from a distance. You'll see it actually has kind of a nice random look going on. So we want it kind of squared off looking, and so far so good. Now we're going to add some color and we'll see how that comes out.
Color everything like peanut butter.
Okay, Rachel says, now this is the second batch that we made that is actually quite a bit softer in consistency, if you see how it's going on there, and it's kind of wettish looking. I'm thinking it's kind of like, almost like smooth peanut butter. I'm not sure if it would be Skippy's brand or Jiffy, or is Skippy a brand? I don't know. I don't care anymore, but it's going on real smooth. And you know, I just wanted to tell you, I always wear a dust mask when I mix this stuff. You never breathe stuff that is particulate. This is all dusty till it gets wet. And also, you'll notice she doesn't have gloves on. Fools that we are. You know, this stuff will really dry your hands out. But this is going on really nice, and I'm getting a little bit of pseudo-natural variation on the edges there, you see, instead of just like a smooth flat. So we'll show you how this looks later, and we're going to add some coloring too. We're getting down to more or less the final shape on this thing. You know, we hit it with the bag a little bit. We kind of shaped it so it doesn't look completely square. And again, with the bag, all you got to do is grab it and kind of like this, right, y'all? And then you just kind of, you work it in. And what it does, it kind of gives you a pseudo-random pattern, which looks like a rock. And that's what you want. You don't want real straight edges. You don't want it to look perfect. You want it to look kind of beat up. And that's what we got. Good job, Rachel. This looks lovely. I just want to walk on it, but I can't. So we'll probably add some color, and then I'll take a few pictures of the final result. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned. Okay, folks, this is the final result of the steps. This is a couple weeks later. You can see I made them look all a little bit different. This top two look just gray, and I've added some coloring on top of that one. And this is the bottom one. That was the one my daughter and I were working on. It looks pretty good now. You know, I'm not an expert at coloring these things. I think the one on top looks better with a uniform color. And this stuff is actually made to be mixed into your concrete, so it goes on more uniformly instead of looking like you spray painted it, which I did not. I put it on with a brush. But anyway, you know, you just need to mix and match. I used a little brown, a little black, and it's gonna come out. Just keep trying till you like the combination, and it looks different when it's wet. You can put some polyurethane on it. Thanks for watching.